Girl, now don't let Funky get y'all worked up with this manipulative propaganda that he's over there spinning for the sky. Let's talk these YouTube streets. I am Dineva, and this is Pop Wisdom. The manipulation was revealed when Funky mentioned his relationship with the Scotts. He just needed everybody to believe that he was about to give an unbiased review, when the main points of that message were to attack Keke's character and to attack Melody's character. Because let's be real and check out how manipulation works. What does Melody have to do with Keke's cause of death? Absolutely nothing. So talking about Keke's cause of death was just the layup for the real talking points in Funky's message. Funky already expressed a few weeks ago in a video after he left Huntsville that he enjoyed sitting in the backyard of his cousin's house with Miss Wanda drinking brown liquor and talking about everybody. So I think it is safe to assume that Funky has already been talking to Wanda, Tisha, and Marceau. And since Wanda has been quietly embarrassed ever since Melody Shari had to check her, since hearing Tisha in her interview with Dustin say that her relationship with Keke was dead to her, followed by Keke's passing and her uncle coming out blasting Wanda, Tisha, and Marceau, I think Funky's message is nothing more than the Scotts just trying to get their lick back. These people love to prop themselves up as being more than others. We consistently witness their inferiority complex that they have on the show, as they're always displaying this little nagging little minion mindset where they need to attack and demean other people's characters and images on the show. We saw Tisha and Marceau doing this to the Whitlows, they did it to the Fletchers, and they've been doing it to Melody and Martell since season 1, episode 1. Anytime anyone tells them the truth about themselves and their behavior on this show, they always need to get their lick back, and that is what I see with this message from Funky Dineva. Tisha, Wanda, and Marceau are just trying to get their lick back. They've been receiving a lot of backlash since Keke's uncle has come forward, and then let's also remember Melody Shari had to check Wanda too. What do the deplorables do? They go to their blogger friend to get a little message out for them. Oh, but please believe they're gonna act like they had nothing to do with this, baby. They're gonna throw rocks and hide their hands. They're going to hide behind Funky's message as if they are the victims and Melody and Keke were the villains. That's why we heard Funky saying he hopes this doesn't hurt him with the family, because this has to come across as a standalone message from Funky only, and nothing influenced by Tisha, Wanda, and Marceau. But let's take a look at the overarching message in what Funky said. Then we'll know the source of where all of this vitriol comes from. Because let's keep it 100, we know Funky doesn't know anything about Melody Shari, and he didn't know Keke either. So where did Funky get this idea that Keke got on the show with Melody and went over to the dark side to go against her cousin? We already know where it came from. Who's been chanting that since Keke got on the show? Marceau and Letitia. So let's go ahead and be real about it and break this thing on down, because one scene and one question turned into this whole thing of Melody bringing Keke on the show to go against Letitia, as if anyone would need to bring anyone on this show to go against the deplorables. And like Kimmy told them, they always want to start things in the middle, so let's start at the beginning. And I'm talking about the beginning before the show even started filming. So we all know that Melody pitched the show idea to Carlos King. This came from Carlos and Melody themselves, and Carlos got the hosts on board with making this an ensemble cast, which led the hosts to interviewing some couples and people that they knew to be a part of the show. Now when they interviewed Letitia and Marceau Scott, guess what they did? Letitia and Marceau Scott undermined their cousin Keke Jabbar for the opportunity on the show by telling the hosts about Keke's personal life battle, something that the hosts should have only heard from Keke's mouth if she wanted to tell them. After watching all of them on the reunion stage talking about this situation, we learned that it was actually Marceau that said it to the host himself. And Keke didn't find out about this conversation until a couple of years after it had already happened. And nope, she didn't find out from her cousin Letitia. Nope, Marceau didn't tell her either. Keke wouldn't have known anything if Melody hadn't told her herself. And Letitia and Marceau had the nerves to try to swing it as if they were saying it under the guise of Keke not being ready. And then we actually have weirdos out here in the comments believing this lie. Keke and Melody already had the friendship, and Keke is the one that introduced Melody to Letitia. And the fact that Melody wasn't even aware of Keke's battle lets me know that Marceau was exaggerating Keke's character on national TV because he needed to discredit Keke's character out of fear that she would get on this show talking his business the way she did on his Facebook post at the beginning of this year. So that is the beginning of where this all started, and this came from their own mouths on on this show, so they can't say we went looking up records and calling the city. And you can't blame editing, and you can't say the fans are doing too much, because this is what you all said on this show on our screens. So basically this all started when they were just looking for a cast to even start filming the show. So based on all of this information that this cast has given us on the show, and from my own observation, Marceau and Tisha undermined Keke for the opportunity to get on this show. So dark side where? But let's continue on the dark side, because since Keke got on this show, all we've been hearing is Keke came on the show with Melody so she could go against her own cousin. Let's talk about it, because it's time for Tisha to be accountable for her actions on this show. Season 1, episode 1, Letitia came out the gate talking about the rumors that were going around town about Martell cheating on Melody. And in that same episode, she was the one that said she couldn't even trust Melody. So why are you on this lady's show, ma'am? Why did you even interview for the part? Then what about Tisha and her sister-in-law Kimmy making Melody cry at her own spa day that she invited them to? Tisha trying to let it be known on camera that Melody's first time going out of the country was when she met them. Girl, y'all went to Mexico, please. I remember that scene where Tisha whispered in Melody's ear, "I hope your husband enjoy his matching BMW with his mistress." All because she got mad that Melody wouldn't give her proof that her husband was cheating on her. Then you have Wanda over here, Letitia's mama, who launches every kind of dirty, nasty, dark side thing that she can at Melody, because she's mad at Melody because she's no longer on the show. Now you want to talk about dark side, go over there and look at her videos on her channel, honey. And this is who Funky Dineva is bragging about sitting in his cousin's backyard drinking brown liquor with. So we got Tisha and Marceau undermining Keke so they could get the spot on the show. Then we got Wanda over here attacking Melody online, and Melody had to come out and check her. Plus the backlash that all three of them are receiving since Keke's uncle blasted them after Keke's passing. Now we have their blogger friend over there on his channel attacking Keke, and she's no longer with us. And then out of manipulation just segued Melody into this whole thing. And we're all supposed to believe that this is an unbiased, honest review about the cause of this woman's passing. I mean, y'all have the right to believe whatever y'all choose to believe. However, for me, I choose to use common logical sense. And as a new content creator just launching my channel this week, but as a day one fan of this show, I'd already said I wasn't going to produce anything about Keke, but no. This can't be life. I can't let this pass by like this. This is deplorable. This is ugly. This is nasty. This is the dark side. And this needs to be addressed, because somebody with common sense got to get out here and say, no, sir, this is unacceptable. And I'm not even talking to Funky Dineva, but the source of influence behind his message. That's who I'm talking to. Letitia, remember when you were in that kitchen talking to your husband and you were wondering if it was the energy that you all give out that make people hate y'all? Tisha, this is that energy, ma'am. This is it. Just the fact that Funky even mentioned having a friendship or relationship with your family, and us knowing that he's repeating the things that you all have said over and over about Melody and Keke. And on top of that, I mean, it's just odd that Funky didn't say anything about the message that you see on the screen right now. You know, the uncle's first message where he called out Wanda, Marceau, and Tisha by name. That alone ties y'all to that message, and that's why you all are going to continue to get backlash, because this ain't it.